Welcome to Stephenville, Texas, the land
cowboy capital of the...
Who wouldn't believe how I've seen Stephenville change?
Good evening and good night, and you know what time it is? It is midnight, and that means the midnight hour with your host, John Hall, where we explore everything weird, strange, unusual, and especially the paranormal. Tonight we have a special treat for you. We're going to head on down to north central Texas to the small town of Stephenville with a lovely little story we've been waiting to cover. Most of the time, the small town of Stephenville, Texas doesn't attract too much attention. But recently, people who live there think they've gotten a lot of attention from visitors who come from far, far away. Stephenville, Texas isn't too big, just about 17,000 folks out on the prairie, just 70 miles south of Fort Worth. Up until the past few days, milk is what made it famous. All that changed when several dozen residents looked up and saw a UFO more than once. I'm here with Monica Jennings from Stephenville, who is responsible for breaking the story.
This story was right here in our core readership area, and I thought, the readers are going to like this. They're really going to like this, and they know the people in the story too. That's another reason why I went ahead and did it.
Okay. Seeing as it's a front page story, Monica's been very busy interviewing locals who swear up and down that it actually was not from Texas.
It was a very intense bright light. Everyone I've spoken to told me it spanned a very wide area.
Okay, yeah. Well, maybe the visitors will read the Tribune Post on its website where it says, if you're looking for a small town community, well, you found one of the best.
You know, Justin, I've been out here till dawn if you hadn't come. This land, it don't clean itself.
Well, after what you did for me last year, hauling me and my broken down truck out of that ditch, I reckon I owed you one.
That ain't no ditch. That's the Grand Canyon, son.
Call it what you want. You save my hide. I pay my debts.
So, old Tony's bringing his new wife to the reunion.
Another one? Is this number 3?
4, you count the one he never made it down the aisle with.
Let me guess. This one's even younger than the last.
Young enough to make his daughter call her ma'am.
You ought to move it, Joe.
You know, Ivan, I've always liked chess. It's satisfying. Though I don't get a chance to play with anyone around here much.
Ah, that is too bad. Chess is good for your soul.
Yes, sir, it is. How long you gonna be around here for?
I'm just a visiting professor at Tarleton this year. They asked me to come and teach a series of courses focused on Russian literature. Oh, speaking of literature, have you read Tolstoy? He just doesn't write about war, he writes about life. The clash of ideals, the ache of human frailty. He makes you feel like the weight of history is pressing down on ordinary man.
I don't know about Tolstoy, Ivan, but I do know this. You're about to be in a world of hurt. Check.
Already! Americans, you move so quickly like you're afraid the world will leave you behind.
Hello? Honey?
Ronnie, are you almost done out there? It's already getting dark.
Yeah. Making my way back to the truck now.
Were you at least able to get anything?
Nothing, Bianca. Not even a damn squirrel.
That ain't surprising.
Bite me, B. You know I've been hunting since I was 10.
Yeah, and you barely get shit.
Yeah.
You two used to be thick as thieves, weren't you? You and Tony. You were like brothers in arms.
We were, till Edith came along. Look, I love Tony, and he loved her first. But when I came back from Afghanistan, I fell for her. She was the most beautiful woman I'd ever met.
I never really cared for Tony anyways. Besides, Edith is much better off with you than that yahoo.
And I'll drink to that.
You miss being in the military?
Oh, you know, sometimes I miss the routine and the structure. But you want to know what I miss the most about it? I miss jumping into the cockpit of my Apache helicopter. Hell, I miss that adrenaline rush, hauling ass through mountains and valleys, looking for the bad guys.
I wish I could have joined up. Mama didn't want me to. She wanted me out here working the livestock.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hell, your parents have been here forever raising cattle.
Damn right. My family's been here since Texas was a republic. You can trace my ancestors all the way to Stephen F. Austin's original 300.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
While I haven't read Tolstoy, Ivan, I have read Mark Twain. You know what he said about war?
What did he say?
Twain had a way of stripping everything down to its bare bones. He'd probably look at chess and call it a fancy way of practicing for war. Every piece a soldier, every move a calculated battle.
And what do you think, Joe? Is chess just a game of war, or is it something more?
It can be, sure, a mirror of battlefield's past. But it's also about what comes after the fight. The rebuilding, the tender art of planning your next move when the dust finally settles. Life isn't just about fighting, Ivan. It's about figuring out what the hell you're fighting for. About finding a reason to carry on when the world seems so intent on tearing you apart.
You know, maybe we find our true selves in that aftermath. In the spaces between skirmishes, victories, scars, failures, they all tell a story. And perhaps, just perhaps, that story is worth every sacrifice.
And sometimes, a chess game is just a chess game.
I cannot argue with that. So, let us keep playing, Joe. Each move a small act of defiance against the void. Even when the war rages on, at least we have these moments of clarity in these brief shining instants of truth.
So, what's for supper?
Well, I was hoping the big brave hunter would be able to catch something so we could eat. But that didn't happen, did it?
Oh, go to hell, please. We still gotta eat something.
Then go get that something.
Don't be like that. I'm tired as hell.
I'm tired too. You ain't the only one who works. Besides, you're still out.
Fine. What are you feeling?
I don't know. Just don't get Whataburger again. I'm so tired of it.
I like Whataburger.
I get you like Whataburger. That's why we get it every damn time. Can we just get something else, please?
Fine. If not Whataburger, then what? Dairy Queen?
Ew. No, it's kind of gross.
How about Taco Bell?
Ooh, that sounds good.
You want a Dr. Pepper?
Always.
All right. See you back at the house.
Get home safe.
Enough talking about lives and ancestors. We got work tomorrow.
Yeah. You're right.
This ranch ain't gonna fix itself. Neither are we. We gotta fix the fence where that damn Hereford got all tangled up in.
Those Herefords may not be the brightest creatures on earth, but they sure do look good on my smoke.
Damn right. Hey, that's a good idea. Let's have a barbecue. Bring Edith by the house on Saturday. We'll cook us up a brisket.
Sounds good. How is Jolene? Jolene.
Are you done yet?
Yeah, I'm done. Man, I can't believe y'all are having a kid.
Yeah, you and me both. When you and he's gonna have them of your own?
I don't know. We'll see.
Checkmate.
No. Yes. You're something else, Ivan. Every move you make on that board, it's like watching the poet rearrange the stars.
Your chess is like life. Chess is a journey, and you, my friend, are an excellent traveling companion.
Well, Ivan, now that you've bested me, once again, how about I treat you to a burger? A small indulgence in this long, winding journey of ours.
Oh, what is good around these parts? Pray, enlighten me.
Jake and Dorothy's, my friend. Best burgers in Texas.
Ah, Jake and Dorothy's. A beacon of simple pleasures in a world riddled with complexities.
Ivan, are all Russians like you?
Like what?
Humble and articulate?
That depends on how much vodka is involved in the situation.
Come on then, what are we waiting for? If we get started now, we'll get there in time. Let's vamos.
Picking up dinner. Damn it, Bianca. What does she think I'm doing out here? Playing with myself? I'll get a Whataburger if I want to. Damn Taco Bell.
Ah, I left my house keys inside.
Don't get me waiting too long there, buddy. I'm starving.
You know, Joe, sometimes I think my keys have a mind of their own. Like, whenever I need them most, like a good Russian spy.
Well, if they're spies, they sure ain't on time. I'd buy you a new set of house keys if you could just remember where you left those ones. Who knew a Russian and a Texan could come together over a chessboard and then go grab a hamburger?
And I buy you a new chess set if you could stop losing your pawn to every wild guess you make, partner.
Hey now, those wild moves keep the game interesting. Besides, ain't about winning, it's about the ride. Now let's get over to Jake and Dorothy's before my stomach hollers louder than the coyotes out back.
You know, tonight we raise a toast. To keys that hide, to chess pieces that scatter, and the unexpected fellowship between a Texan and a Russian. Well, I'll be back quicker than the Siberian summer.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
What in God's name is that?
What in the...
Shit. No way.
Well, that's just a helicopter.
That ain't no helicopter. You hear anything?
No?
Ivan! Ivan, get out here!
No.
You're...
No, this ain't real. What is that?
Justin, where you going? Justin! What the hell?
What is it, my friend? I found my house keys. What? Are you okay?
There was something up there. Big, bright, moving like it was alive.
Ah, too much chess and vodka. Come, let's get that burger.
You don't believe me?
Let's just say I believe in simple explanation. Come, we don't want to fade from hunger.
Damn it, Ronnie, damn it. That didn't just happen. Someone else out there had to have seen those lights. I know what I saw.
I'm telling you, Edith, I know what I saw last night. It was bright lights changing shape if they were alive, and it flew past us. And then these two F-16s fall. Are you even listening? And then these two F-16s followed it, but it was too fast for him to catch. I'd never seen anything like it. And Justin, he saw it too, and he bolted out of there.
You gotta be careful. If you start talking about lights dancing in the sky, people will think you've been drinking too much of that homemade moonshine. They'll call you nuts.
I'm telling you, Edith, it wasn't no trick of the light or some fancy mirage. It was real. I have to figure out what it is. Whatever it was.
Look, hun, I hear ya, but you've got a reputation to think about. I mean, think about what folks will say.
I can't just ignore it. I have to know. I ain't content to sit here and pretend it didn't happen.
Scott, sometimes you gotta grin and bear it. I get you saw something unusual, but you've got to think about what people will say.
They were bright, shifting lights, something that defies explanation. And Justin, he didn't wait for me to ask questions. He just ran.
You gotta rein it in, baby. This is not an X-Files episode we're talking about here. This is real life. Look, I'm not saying you're crazy, but if you get too obsessed, I can't help you out.
I know this is real life. I know I saw those damn lights. You know that I'm not a liar. I have to figure this out for my own sanity. You know?
All right then, we'll do this your way. But be careful. Don't let your curiosity turn into a wild goose chase.
I know. I'll call the Stephenville Airport. I need to know if their radar caught anything unusual around then.
Fine, do whatever you need.
Hey, Jerry, it's Scott Abrams. Yeah, I got a slightly odd question. Was there anything unusual on the radars last night? Oh, yeah. I saw something bizarre last night, and I was just trying to wrap my head around it. Can you check it for me? See if there's any aircraft, anything not supposed to be there? Hello? Well, that was strange.
What was strange?
The line went dead.
Oh hell, it ain't nothing. Wait, maybe the aliens were listening in. Maybe they were calling the airport trying to book a flight. E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home.
Oh, cut it out, Edith. I'm trying to be serious here.
Well, fine. You just sit there and be serious. I'm gonna go get my hair done, and maybe when I get back, you'll be less serious.
Stephenville Empire Tribune, this is Monica speaking. How may I help you? Hello, someone there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Well, I don't have all day. How can I help you?
Hi, I'd like to report a strange sighting.
Strange? Strange how?
An unidentified flying object. I saw it last night.
Okay, let's start with the basics. Your name, where you were, and when it happened.
My name's Scott Abrams. I was working on my land near the old ridge around 6 p.m.
Okay, and were you alone? Anyone with you?
My buddy Justin was with me.
Right, and what's his last name?
Howard.
All right. Do you mind telling me what you experienced?
Justin and I were clearing brush on a hill when out of nowhere, first 1 and then 7 bright lights appeared in a vertical line, and it began to arch over us, and then it shifted into it was a vertical line. The brightness it grew, and then it just vanished.
Okay, and could you tell its size or how high it was off the ground?
By the way it moved, I couldn't see much because of the brightness, but I'd say it was about as big as a Walmart, maybe 500 feet up.
Size of a Walmart? Well, now that's something else. You know, I don't normally take these calls seriously, but Well, your voice carries a certain kind of weight that's hard to dismiss.
I'm telling you, Monica, I ain't out here spitting wild tales. I need to understand what I saw.
You know, I've heard plenty of tall tales in my time. Tell you what, why don't you come down to the office? I'd love to hear your story straight from the source.
I'd like that too. I just need someone that'll listen to me without calling me crazy.
I promise I won't be the kind of judge. Why don't you come down to the office next week? We can have a cup of coffee and fully discuss what you saw.
All right, I'll be there.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you, Monica. Maybe I ain't so crazy after all.
Stephenville Empire Tribune, this is Monica speaking. How may I help you?
Well, ma'am, I saw something last night out near my house on West Tarleton by the Bosky River. Something strange.
Strange how?
I think it might have been a UFO.
UFO, huh? Now there's a headline for the front page.
I'm serious. I wouldn't be calling if I wasn't.
Well, I quite literally just got a call from somebody else saying the exact same thing.
That's good. That means there's someone else out there that can corroborate my story.
Or it means that this is some kind of prank.
Well, it ain't. Like I said before, I wouldn't be calling if I weren't serious.
Fine, let's start with the basics. What's your name?
Hawkins, Joe Hawkins.
Right, and how do you spell that?
J-O.
No, I meant Hawkins. How do you spell Hawkins?
Thank God. You had me worried there for a second. If you can't spell Joe, I don't know how much I could trust you. It's spelled Hawkins.
Right. Can you tell me what you saw? Speak slowly this time, please.
All right. I was playing chess with a buddy of mine. Then I walked outside, and then out of nowhere, the sky, it became very bright.
Bright how?
I had never seen anything quite like it before. These things, these objects, they were like giant red orbs. Red orbs just floating there. And then right in the middle, there was this white light pulsating, like a heartbeat.
Right. Red orbs and pulsating lights. How much beer did you boys have?
Bear?
Did anyone else see it?
Not really.
Not really.
What do you want me to say? I saw what I saw.
Look, Joe, I get calls like this every so often. Someone sees a light in the sky and suddenly it's little green men from Mars.
This wasn't my imagination. This thing, it moved. Changed shape. 1 minute it was round, and then it stretched out like it was shifted. It lined up in a horizontal line, and then arched over the hill and disappeared faster than I'd ever seen anything move. And it was dead silent. Not a sound.
Silent, huh?
Like a graveyard. And it wasn't just me who noticed.
Okay, let's assume you're telling me the truth. Why are you telling me? Why not tell the police or the Air Force or, hell, the weather station?
Because you're the reporter who wrote about that sighting last month. The one over near Dublin. You took that far more seriously, didn't you?
Yes, I covered it. And I got more prank calls that week than I care to remember. Half the town thought I'd gone off my rocker.
Well, I'm not a prank caller, Miss Jennings. I'm just a person who saw something they can't explain and wants answers.
All right, I'll buy it. Why don't you come down to the office? I've got someone you might want to meet.
Thank you, ma'am.
But let me be clear. I'm not making any promises. If this turns out to be some sort of elaborate prank, you'll wish you'd stuck to prank calling the radio station.
I'll be there. You'll see I ain't lying.
All right.
I ain't no damn prank caller.
Monica, what were some telling you?
The thing I heard over and over again is how bright the lights were. So I think there's been a lot of consistency in the spottings. One report in particular said he saw a red glow. He says it was big. He watched it hover, disappear, then reappear. He was stunned at the speed the lights moved.
The descriptions were the same. It was big and it had bright strobing lights that flashed in no particular pattern. It would hover silently when it did move.
Yes, they said it was very, very fast. One lady said once it started moving, you couldn't put your finger on it and follow it.
I get it. I sound crazy, but I ain't just making this up out of thin air. You gotta believe me this time.
Boy, you always sound crazy. Last week, it was seeing black helicopters. The week before that, government spies were watching us. Now it's aliens? Face it, Sugar. If we believed every story you told, we'd be digging bunkers by now.
This time, it's different. I ain't talking about some nonsense. I saw it. Right there in the sky. Clear as day.
Oh, honey, you've been seeing stuff since high school. Remember when you swore the moon was following your truck? Or that the CIA had tapped your old rotary phone? Face it, Ron, we've been down this road before.
Damn it, I ain't joking. This was real. Bright lights dancing across the sky in ways nothing, no human could do. They sure as hell weren't planes.
Ronnie, sit down. What is going on?
Something about flying lights and little green men. Same old Ronnie.
Ronnie, I about had it. Every time you come in here, it's some new disaster. Would you stop acting like it's the end of the world?
Y'all think this is fun. You're all sitting here laughing at me while something big is happening. Right under our noses.
Calm down, you big baby. You're gonna give yourself a stroke.
Don't tell me to calm down, Clementine. You think we could be under attack and you're all laughing at me.
Ronnie, you're making a scene. Sit down before my manager kicks you out again.
We should all be making a scene. You think this don't matter? You think it's just me who saw it? I ain't the only one. Someone else out there had to see those lights. Bright as the devil's on fire, moving in ways no man-made thing could have moved.
Joe, I'm sorry about this. Ronnie's just on one of his little tangents again. Let's talk about this when we get home.
No need to apologize. Actually, I think I might want to hear this one. Joe Hawkins, heard you talking about some strange lights. Mind if I join?
You just here to call me crazy too?
No, sir. I saw them too.
You saw them? You serious?
Clear as day. Me and a good 40 other folks so far. Bright lights, moving across the sky in ways I've never seen before.
Well, looks like you got yourself a partner in crime, Ronnie.
I told y'all I wasn't crazy.
There's this journalist I've been talking to. She's gathering accounts, trying to piece together what happened. You should talk to her.
You got her number?
Right here. My number's on there too, in case you want to compare notes.
You see that?
See who?
Ronnie, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. All right, I'll give her a call. This bar ain't beat no trap.
Here we go again.
This ain't no trap.
All right.
Stephenville Empire Tribune, this is Monica speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Monica. This is Ronnie Brown. Joe told me to call you about the flying lights.
Oh, yes. Thank you for calling, Mr. Brown. So, you saw the UFOs as well?
Please, just Ronnie and UFOs. Well, I didn't quite call them that, but I reckon you could say that, yeah.
I understand. Everyone's been calling them UFOs, so That's how I've been referring to them too. Do you mind telling me what you did see?
Sure, I'll tell you. I was out near the woods, just past the creek, when I saw this light, brighter than the sun, but it didn't burn to look at, you know, and it didn't move like no plane or helicopter. It just sat there, staring at me, then shot off, faster than anything I ever saw.
So you were out in the woods when you saw it. Did you feel anything? Were you scared?
Scared? I don't know if that's the right word. I guess I felt small? Like, whatever it wasn't something I was meant to see. It's stuck in my head ever since, like it's still out there, watching me. Monica?
Yes, sir. Everything all right?
There's someone standing outside my house.
Who's outside?
I don't know, they're just standing there.
Well, what are they doing?
They're just standing there staring at me.
Okay, don't do anything rash.
Hold on,
Stay the
I
phone.
gotta
Ronnie,
do
wait!
this. Who the hell are you? What do you want? Why are you prowling around my land? Listen, I don't know who you are, but you need to leave. I said, leave. I have a gun and I will protect my home. Just tell me why you're here. Is this about them lights?
What light?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. The giant red lights.
Should be careful what you tell people.
You threatening me? You can't threaten me. I'll call the police. Get the hell out of my house. Now. I said, leave. Why did they?
Are you there?
They were here and now they're gone.
Who was there?
They were saying not to talk. I could barely see their face.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I gotta go.
Ronnie, don't hang up.
Monica, what were some of the more, I don't know, paranormal occurrences you had surrounding this story?
Well, the only thing really comes from Scott. I had one of his neighbors call me and tell me that all of his hay bales, about 70 of those big, round, marshmallow-like hay bales, they'd been tipped over. There were also several dead cows found, with little to no explanation, and that was just on his land.
Okay. Well, what about Ronnie? You know, I heard that he got the worst of it.
Yes, I feel that Ronnie might have been singled out simply because he had more detail than the rest of us, but that's a lot of work for a host.
There was nothing else? No reports of abductions or anything like that?
No, but next thing I know, Ronnie's calling me. He said something's going on, somebody's bothering him. He seemed real concerned for his safety. Apparently, he had all kinds of threats made on him and his wife.
Okay.
Morning, Joe Hawkins, right?
Yup, that's me. Who might y'all be?
We're with the Dallas Morning News. I'm Hank, and this here's my colleague Frank. We were hoping to ask you a few questions about that UFO sighting you've been talking about.
Oh, well now, ain't this something? Sure, I'll talk. Always glad to share the story. Especially if it gets more folks coming down here to Stephenville. Yeah, we could use a little bit more entertainment down here in these parts. Y'all want to sit? Coffee's good here.
We're fine standing, thanks. Let's get to it. Describe this aircraft. You claim to have seen.
No need to jump right into it, Joe. We appreciate your time. Start whenever you're ready. Take your time.
All right then. You know what? It's a little hard to explain. Why don't I draw it for you? Would you mind? Thank you. Goes on like this, and like this, and like this, and then like that. Ooh, that. Right there. Circles. So there was this bright white light smack in the center, like it was alive, you know? And then around it, glowing red, real eerie like. It was maybe 50 feet up in the air, but it was dead silent. Here, you want this? Fine. It's yours now, I reckon.
Were you alone when you saw this thing, or do you have someone who can back you up?
I wasn't alone, but the fellow I was with didn't see it. He was inside grabbing something. But he'd vouch for me. He knows I ain't one to make stuff up.
And where exactly were you when this happened, Joe?
At home. We'd been playing chess. Me and one of the professors from Tarleton. Nice guy. But I beat him 3 games straight. Don't let him tell you otherwise. After that, I stepped outside and that's when I saw it.
This professor, what's his name?
Why you want to know that?
Just covering all our bases, Hawkins. You understand.
It's just routine, Joe. Helps us piece the story together.
Fine. His name's Ivan Sokolov. He's a Russian, but he's a good man. He'll tell you I ain't lying.
And did you tell anyone else about this? Anyone besides this Mr. Sokolov?
Sure. I called Monica down at Empire Tribune. She's covering this stuff, you know. Got me in touch with another fellow who saw it. Scott Abrams, his name.
That's real helpful, Joe. Thank you.
One last thing, Hawkins. You ever thought maybe you imagined it?
Imagined it? Hell no! I know what I saw.
Do you? Because, you know, lights in the sky, they could be anything. Planes, weather balloons, reflections.
That's enough. That's enough. Joe, we're not here to discredit you. We're just trying to understand.
I don't need y'all to understand. I know what I saw. That's the truth.
We got what we need. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. You take care now.
Hey, Monty. What you working on?
Same article, Kaya. You know, these boys are really onto something. This story, it just keeps
That's
getting...
actually what I wanted to talk to you about. I know the story may seem big. I mean, I remember when I was just a newbie and I got my hands on my first good story. I was so excited.
Get to the point, Kathy.
Okay. The point is, you can't write that story anymore.
Pardon?
Got a call from the higher-ups. They're calling it off.
Higher ups, who, Ryan?
Higher than Ryan.
Oh, man.
They're calling it off. No more talk of UFOs or aliens. You remember what happened the last time you covered a story like this? The fiasco with all the prank calls. How do you know these aren't just stragglers still trying to mess with us?
But this is real. Those guys, they saw something and they're scared. People need to hear their story. Plus, aliens.
That's huge.
What's huge is keeping the agency up and running and everyone keeping their jobs. I don't have to remind you, we're in the middle of a recession.
What's that got to do with anything?
You know, it's hard for people to find work right now.
What are you saying?
Nothing. I'm just saying.
It sounds like you're saying that if I don't stop reporting on this stuff, then you guys are gonna have to let me go.
I didn't say that.
You might as well.
Look, this is about keeping the paper running and everyone keeping their jobs.
This is about the truth. And as reporters, we are meant to advocate the truth. All you care about is the reputation of this stupid agency. But what about those guys who are putting their reputations on the line by speaking out?
Those boys are making fools of themselves. It's done, Monica. I'm sorry. Really.
Fine. Bitch.
You know, Monica, I am so glad you're doing what you're doing because, frankly, there aren't any, I can't think of any reporters who would take this seriously.
Yeah, I get tons of people. They come up to me and they say, thank you for reporting it. It was all news to them, and I think they had no judgment about it. But the publisher and the editor, they were like, we don't want any more of this. Let's get back to normal.
Normal? Normal? What is that supposed to mean?
Hell, I don't know. How many coats of paint the statue of Moolah gets outside the courthouse every year?
Over here.
Hi, welcome back, guys. What can I get y'all to drink?
Sweet tea.
Same here.
Alrighty, let me get those right out for you. Hi, welcome in. What can I get y'all? Hello? Alright.
So, Monica said you saw him too.
The lights? You bet I did.
What do you make of it? I mean, I'm a bit shaken up about the whole thing, and well, to be honest, my wife's pretty pissed, but we saw something big. Bigger than you and I.
I don't know what to call it except for what it is. A UFO.
Lower your voice, man.
UFO. Unidentified flying object. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay. So we saw an unidentified flying object. What do we do with that?
Alrighty, here are those drinks for y'all. There you go, Herman. Now, what are y'all wanting to eat today?
I'm not sure. I don't think I'm hungry at the moment.
Me too.
I think we'll just have these drinks for now.
Alright, well, if you change your mind, just let me know.
Thank you. Well, now we look for some sort of proof.
Like what? It's not like they got cameras pointed at the sky 24/7.
Radar.
Radar. Holy cow, you're right. Can't believe I didn't think of that.
I tried to call the Stephenville airport the day after, but the line went dead. And now he's dodging my calls. I guess it's a loose end.
Would you look at that? Those guys look like they got lost on their way to a funeral.
Yeah, maybe it's some kind of cult.
Yeah. But why are they looking right at us?
Hell if I know.
Scott, Abrams, Joe, Hawkins.
Yup, that's us.
Who exactly are y'all supposed to be?
Let's just say we're investigators. We understand the two of you have witnessed something unusual.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What are any of us talking about?
We think you know what we're talking about.
Okay, look. We did nothing wrong. I was sitting out back having a couple beers, and we saw some lights in the sky. That's it.
I was playing chess with a buddy of mine. Saw some lights too. No harm done.
And yet, you've been rather vocal about those lights, haven't you? Talking to friends and neighbors, stirring up all sorts of unnecessary attention.
Man, I'm vocal about all the lights I see. I'm an engineer. Hey, look. Lights. We weren't stirring up nothing. Folks asked, we answered. Nothing wrong with a little curiosity, is there?
Curiosity is dangerous.
Okay, what's that supposed to mean?
It means, Abrams, that some things are better left unspoken for everyone's benefit.
You making some kind of threat?
Not a threat, Hawkins. A friendly warning. People who see things they shouldn't tend to misunderstand what they've seen. And misunderstandings can lead to unfortunate consequences.
All right, that's enough. You two got something to say? Otherwise, say it plain. Or get the hell out of here and let us eat in peace.
Plainly, Abrams? Fine. Stop talking about what you saw.
Forget it ever happened. Go back to your lives and we'll go back to ours.
And if we don't, oh, y'all still doing all right over here. Can I top off y'all's drinks?
Everything's fine, ma'am. Just a friendly conversation.
We're good, Bianca.
All right. Well, y'all let me know if you need anything.
Enjoy your lunch, gentlemen. And remember, some questions are better left unanswered.
Who the hell do they think they are?
I don't know. But I don't think they're done with us.
Excuse me.
Not now. We're not interested.
Overheard what just happened?
Look, we ain't in the mood for happy time.
Oh shit, Ronnie, my bad. I didn't recognize you at first. Here, have a seat.
Who is this?
Ronnie Brown. He saw the UF unidentified flying object 2.
Well, Ronnie Brown. Nice to meet you.
I don't mean to listen in, but what's this you're saying about a radar?
So, I used to fly in the Army, and the first thing I thought of as soon as I got back home was the radar data from that night. And I tried to call the day after, but the line went dead.
And I'm an aeronautical engineer. I think you and I are on the same page.
Huh?
Look, everything in the sky has its own radar signature.
It's kind of like a fingerprint.
A radar dish sends out a pulse of radio waves into the sky, and when it hits an airborne object, pulses back down to a radar dish. What pulsed back down is the radar signature, and it can detect the size, shape, and speed of the aircraft.
And it can do a lot more than that too. In the military, we can tell precisely what kind of aircraft it is and where it was from a radar tag.
But they don't want us talking about stuff like that.
Speaking of they, y'all know those guys y'all were talking to?
Nope, we don't know.
But they sure wanted to know what we saw.
And they weren't very kind about it either. Why are you asking?
I know. Well, at least one of them. They were standing in my yard staring at me for a time, then started threatening me.
They're at your house?
Yeah. They left. this in my house and then left. I think they're still watching me. I keep hearing their warning, seeing their eyes. They know something.
Wow. Well, just wow. Well, seeing as you saw him too, Ronnie, you might want to be on the lookout for him.
Y'all should watch y'all's backs too. They aren't to be trusted. Their eyes will just keep following you. It ain't safe around here no more.
Look, I hear you, Ronnie, but you look like a man that can take care of himself. I'm sure you'll be fine. Scott, I think you and I should work together on this. I've got some buddies down at the airport in Fort Worth. I bet we can get the radar records we need.
You got it. I'm in. I'll go to the Stephenville airport in person and see what I can find.
What should I do?
Just keep your head down. This town's becoming scary.
What did you see? Who have you talked to?
Why are you doing this?
Who's gonna believe you?
What can you possibly do about
You
it?
can't escape this.
You can't escape us.
And welcome back. You've been listening to the Midnight Hour with John Hall, where we explore everything that's weird, strange, and paranormal. We're talking to Monica Jennings from Stephenville, Texas, where she reported on a mysterious UFO sighting that many people in this town of Stephenville, Texas, witnessed one cold January night not too long ago. Well, Monica, can we step back a little and talk about Ronnie some more?
Sure.
It seems like Ronnie had a far more difficult time than all the others we've been talking about.
It sure seemed like it. I didn't know Ronnie too well before all this started. I'd heard he made some wild claims in the past about government conspiracies and things. I mean, hell, who hasn't these days? Although I have to say, after that phone call where he said somebody was at his house, I couldn't help but feel that there was something to it.
Oh, okay. Wow. So what's Ronnie up to now?
Well, suddenly Ronnie stops talking to everybody. I think he saw a lot more than what the rest of us did.
You've reached the house of Ronnie and Bianca Brown. Leave a message at the beep. Hey Ronnie, I haven't heard from you. I hope you're doing okay. I'm sure you've heard all about the MUFON meeting coming up. It would really help for you to come and tell the town what you saw. We need all the people we can get. Please call me back.
We need to discuss something with
The
you.
police won't help you, Mr. Brown. Not with this. Be careful what you tell people.
Shut up. Shut up. I know they're watching me. They can watch me all they want, but I know they're watching me. You can't get me here. I'm safe here. This is where I'm safe.
Ronnie? Why are all the lights off?
I'll turn them off.
Whoa, what's going on?
You are making it easier for them to see us. Turn them off. Turn them off. Just turn them off.
Okay. All right. They're off. Now, what's going on? Who can see us?
I can see them. They're watching us. They're watching me and they're watching you.
Okay, they're watching us. I hear
It
you.
ain't safe. They won't stop.
Ronnie, hey. Look at me. Where are we right now?
The living room?
Right. We're in our living room. We're in our home. We're safe here.
We're safe here.
Yeah. Now, start again. What are you talking about? Who is watching us?
The people who came and threatened me, the ones who left the bullet, you've seen them.
Right. Those people. Ronnie, I was just outside. I didn't see anyone about.
I can see them. I know they're here.
Ronnie, breathe. You know, this town is full of crazies. We see them all the time, don't we? It's probably just some weirdos who like messing with people. You and your friends are the talk of the town right now. I mean, people are bound to hear about us.
Yeah.
Besides, it's you, Ronnie. You're always finding about some shit you think you saw. People love messing with you.
What?
Yeah, like that whole thing with the black helicopters. People love pulling your leg. You're always saying some silly shit.
Silly shit? This was real, B.
I wasn't saying
You
that.
still don't believe me?
I didn't say
They
that.
were here, B. They left a bullet. They threatened our lives.
Nobody's threatening us.
I'm trying
Ronnie.
to talk to you. Trying to tell you
I'm
what happened.
trying to listen to you.
No, you aren't. You're trying to tell me it's all in my head. Well, it's not in my head, B.
Ronnie, I've had a long day.
Had a long day.
And I can't get into this with you right now, all right? I'm done.
You're always like this. You sound just like that.
What is that supposed to mean?
You tell me it's all in my head. You tell me it's like every other time.
Well, there has been in every other time, Ronnie. What am I supposed to think here?
I'm trying to protect us.
Protect us? You think this is protecting us? Oh, that whole business with the lights would make you go crazy.
Crazy. Oh, I see. You're with them.
I'm not with anyone, Ronnie.
Nobody believes me, B. If anyone would have believed me, it would have been you, but you don't even believe me.
I don't give a damn about any of this shit.
This is about protecting me and you.
I don't need protection.
But I don't trust you anymore.
Ronnie, you need to calm down.
Don't tell me what I need. Get the fuck out.
This is my goddamn house.
You are with them and you are going to leave.
With who? I don't know what
I
you're
will not
talking
be threatened in my own damn
about.
house. You think I wouldn't know what you are?
Ronnie?
You don't think I know? You don't think I see?
Get off of me, Ronnie!
Leave. Now.
Go to hell.
I know you're still there. Why is this happening to me? The lights, the eyes keep following. I can hear you. I can see you. Taking everything from me. You can't hurt me no more. You. I can't do this anymore. Who's that? You can't hurt me no more. You can't.
Landed in one Texas town. It's called UFO fever. Several residents of Stephenville, including a pilot and a teacher, swear they saw a bright, slow-moving object in the sky. Now, those sightings have now put the cattle town on the map.
Thank you. My name is Lily Anderson, and I am the Senior Director of Investigations at the Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON. And for the past couple of months, the great people of Stephenville, Texas, have had multiple reported sightings of lights over Stephenville. And I have called this meeting to discuss the major rumors around town and to hopefully get to the bottom of this untold mystery over this county. On that note, who here claims to have seen these lights?
I do. Howdy. My name is Joe Hawkins. I live by the Bosque River and saw a UFO hovering over it. It was bright red but silent, maybe 200 feet up in the air. It looked something like a bat. Like this.
Okay. So you're saying you saw aliens?
Son, what I mean by UFO is that it is an unidentified flying object. It does not imply aliens in any way, only that the airborne object has no identification tag through radar or radio. It is significant that no one knows where it came from or who is controlling it.
You did not specify that when we interviewed you. It seemed like you were talking about aliens. How come you're changing the tune now?
I beg your pardon? I thought I wouldn't have to specify what a UFO was to what I thought was a well-researched and renowned news agency like the Dallas Morning News. Besides, I'm not the only one who saw it. Just ask Scott.
Scott, did you see anything that night?
Well, yes, and well, yes. I saw some lights that night. It was dead silent, and then 5 lights appeared horizontally in the sky. It flew over us about, say, 300 feet, and then it began to curve into an arc, and then it arrived to the outskirts of Stephenville. It then shifted into a vertical line, and then it just disappeared. My buddy Justin was with me, and he saw the whole thing. Right, Justin? Well, my wife was also here, and she believes me.
No, I didn't see anything.
So, what real proof does anyone have?
Scott and I have experience working with radar due to my background in engineering and his in aviation. I'm sure if we contact some airports, there'll be plenty of evidence of there being unidentified flying objects.
What about the Brownwood base? They said that it was just a training exercise and that it was just F-16s from the Brownwood base. Like, what's the proof in that?
They've lied about it before. There is no good reason for F-16s to be flying that late at night.
Oh, so is it aliens like Al?
It was not aliens. It was UFO, people.
People seem to say otherwise, Joe. Maybe you don't know what you really saw.
Oh, buddy.
Okay, I have also found that there were over 100 reported calls from the Dublin call center. Some calling from Highway 67 from the city, and some calling from farms on the outskirts of town. If the 2 eyewitnesses that have spoken here today, the radar data, and all the other eyewitnesses don't convince you, maybe one last eyewitness will. Ronnie Brown also saw the UFO. He's supposed to be here.
Ronnie Brown? The crazy guy? Oh, did the aliens get him too?
Say that again.
It was not saying it. Don't do
Look, folks, this is getting ridiculous. At this point, this is more of a circus show than a meeting. With that said, this town needs to get its story straight. Meeting adjourned.
You should have listened to me, Scott. Now the whole town hates us.
All I wanted was for everyone to know the truth.
I am not a liar. There is scientific proof to back this.
Where's Ronnie Brown? He's supposed to be here.
What scientific proof? Joe Hawkins, what exactly did you see?
going somewhere?
What the hell were you thinking?
What do you mean?
You told me you'd quit spreading your lies all over town. Instead, you go and preach your delusions to the whole county. Hell, the whole world.
They're not lies, sweetheart. Everything we're saying is true. Joe and I are gonna get radar
You
proof.
know what, Scott? I don't give a rat's ass what's true or false anymore. All I know is you lied to me and you've been sneaking around behind my back for all this UFO nonsense. Do you know what people are saying about us? They're calling you the second craziest man in Stephenville, and they're calling me even crazier for being married to you. I have people coming up to me every day asking me how your head is and if you're gonna stop drinking anytime soon.
Look! You're my wife. You're supposed to support me through everything. And all you seem to care about is how people look at us. So how about you stop acting like some child who's throwing a temper tantrum? Look, I am the man of the house, and if I want to speak about something that I know is true, and I want to speak about it, then God damn it, I will!
Child, I'm a grown-ass woman, not some kid you're babysitting for the day. Screw being the man of the house! I am your wife! Or at least I thought I was. What happened to us, Scott? I used to think I meant the world to you, and now it feels like those damn lights mean even more.
What are you saying?
I'm gonna go stay with my folks for a while. See if I can figure things out.
No, we don't have to do that. We can work things out. Come on, this is us.
I don't think we can, Scott. I'm sorry.
Kathy?
You're gonna want to sit down for this.
Where's my stuff?
They took it.
Who took it?
Hell, I don't know. Some guys in suits came in with the police.
Police?
We had to. I didn't have a choice. We couldn't let you keep pushing the story. They threatened to shut the entire paper down. You're jeopardizing more than just your job now. The paper, the reputation, it's all on the line.
You're firing me?
I don't want to. But you've left us no choice. I gave you every chance to drop this story, but you wouldn't listen. And now, you're paying the consequences.
I wasn't wrong, Kathy. Those guys, they saw something. I still believe it. It is a story. Possibly the biggest story of our careers. And you won't even let me report on it.
I don't care what those boys saw or how big this story could be. The more you talk, the more attention we get.
A good story is supposed to attract attention.
Not the kind of attention we want, Monica.
This is real. And it is happening to this community, to our neighbors, to us.
I'm sorry, Monica. I really am, but you're done here.
What happened to you? There was a time when you believed in free press.
I do, but
But what? That's what I thought. You guys are a bunch of cowards. Fine. I'll go. But this story will come out, whether you like it or not.
Monica, let's, we kind of have to do this. I'd like to talk a little bit more about some of the more unfortunate problems that you've had at work.
Well, of course, our editor wasn't too happy with what was being reported on. She was feeling pressure from the higher-ups.
Of course, speaking of your editor, some people said you were fired. Some people said that you wanted to leave anyway. What was the actual story there?
Well, I had to give him my notice. I was asked not to report anything else on UFOs, and they asked me to leave, and I didn't really want to fight to stay in the company anyways. It wasn't really good for me.
Well, Monica, what makes you stick with this whole UFO thing? And as a relatively newcomer to all this stuff, this is really your first story of the scale.
Well, it's all just so fascinating. I mean, looking into it and seeing that there have been reports from all around the world. Are we being visited from other planets? What's going on?
I got back the primary radar data from the Federal Aviation Administration and the Fort Worth satellites. It confirms exactly what we saw that night.
Hand it over. I want to see. This is it. This proves what I saw that night. And these 2 points is those of military transponders. It proves I saw those 2 F-16s speeding by. And 10 miles away from it is the unmarked object point, meaning it had no transponder. This proves my geographic location for that night.
Correct. And since the unknown object has no transponder, which is a required for a large majority of aircraft, this confirms that what we saw that night was in fact an unidentified flying object.
Well, thank God you guys have some good news. I just got fired.
What? Was it because of our story?
Yes. I came in and my boss said that some guys in suits took all my stuff.
Who's they?
I don't know, some guys in suits.
Suits? I wonder if it was the same guys that interrogated us.
Interrogated?
Yeah. A few weeks back when we first met, there's these guys that came and interrogated us about what we saw.
We didn't stop, of course. This is America. We have the right to freedom of speech and of press. Until now.
That's what I tried to tell my boss, but she wasn't having none of it. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Hey guys, Monica.
Oh, Bianca, how is Ronnie? I've been trying to get into contact with him, but, well, I just keep getting the machine.
You know, I don't know how that's any of your business. In fact, I don't know how any of this is any of your business.
Step over here, please.
You heard Ronnie's, no, you heard Eva's gone. Where did you get off telling people to tell their story while you just ruined their lives?
I'm just doing my job.
Your job? I heard you were fired.
Well, yes, ma'am, I was. And again, I'm really sorry if I've upset you, but I am worried about Ronnie.
Ronnie is gone! Left. No note, no text. Left the entire house in disarray and left me with this.
A bullet? Did you look for him?
Of course I looked for him. I'm his wife, not you. For all I know, you're the reason he's even gone. So back off and leave me the hell alone!
You all right, Monica?
I will be. You know what? We don't need any reporters. I still have my blog. We can still get this story out there.
Blog? I thought you took the blog down.
No, silly, why would I take the blog down?
Because I can't find your blog anywhere.
Shit.
But this radar data we got right here proves our story and our truth. We can finally straighten out those dumb reporters and their fabricated alien stories.
You know what, Joe, you're right. This is our story, and we decide how it ends.
Hey, now that this whole thing's over, and this proves what I saw that night, I can finally move on. I just want my wife back.
Go get her, buddy.
Monica, it's not very often that you get radar data that corroborates exactly what witnesses said in terms of geographic location and time. You know, it seems to me like it basically showed in black and white that there was nothing flying out there. How do you think that impacts the overall credibility?
I think this radar data that's coming out right now is very thought-provoking. In the beginning, I really thought we were probably experiencing something that was military experimental. Lately, though, I've started to go in the other direction. Maybe we are being visited from another place.
You know, following this case, the FAA changed its official policy and no longer releases radar data to the public. So the Stephenville lights remain relatively unexplained, but there was also confirmation from the Air Force. What's your outlook on that?
The Air Force's admission that it did in fact have F-16s in the area, as stated by eyewitness reports, bolsters this story all around. Them coming with anything else at this point is just going to fuel the fire.
I would think so. So here we go. Everybody just stay tuned. We'll be back. We're going to take a short break. You're listening to The Midnight Hour with John Hall, where we explore everything strange, weird, and paranormal.
Edith? Look, before you say anything, I'm sorry. I truly am. And what I saw was big, and it took all my focus. But Edith, ain't nothing more important than you. I'm sorry that I snapped and I took things too far, and I was out of line. But if you take me back, I promise, from here on out, it's you and me, nothing else. I promise.
Scott, I'm not leaving you. I'm sorry for threatening to do that. I was angry that you lied to me, but I should have listened to you more when you told me about your worries. You're my husband. I swore to stand with you through sickness and hell. And UFOs.
And I understand. And I will work on being more upfront with you. You're my wife. I love you more than anything in and out of this world.
I forgive you, and I love you too. E.T.
Oh, come on, not this again.
Hi, Joe Hawkins, Natalie Wilson. I hate to bother you, but you saw the lights over Stephenville that night, right?
Yes, ma'am, I did. Why are you asking? You want an interview too?
Oh, no, sir. I'm no reporter. I was just wondering, well, me and this friend were thinking about selling some t-shirts like UFO capital of the world or something. You know, because we're the cowboy capital. I don't know. We're still working on it, but would you like to be a part of the team? We'd love to have someone who saw the actual aliens. We could give you a cut of the profits.
You know what, Miss Wilson? I'd love to be a part of your team. Now, what do you think about putting my face on that shirt? Or something like this.
Ronnie, please pick up. I believe you. So please come home. Please.
This is John Hall with the Midnight Hour, and you've all been listening to the fascinating story from reporter Monica Jennings from the Stephenville Empire Tribune. Well, I have to say, Monica, this has been probably one of the most fascinating talks I've ever had with a newspaper reporter.
Yep, I think fascinating is a good word for it.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we sign off?
The people of Stephenville saw something that night. Was it aliens? Was it some sort of strange military aircraft? I don't think we'll ever know. But the one thing we haven't mentioned here tonight is that people around these parts have been seeing strange things in the sky since 1891. Do you think the citizens back in Dublin, Texas in 1891 saw experimental military aircraft flying around scaring the livestock? If it wasn't that, what was it?
I don't know.
Exactly. No one does. I think that's kind of where we're left at today.
Well, Monica, it has been a pleasure. We're just about out of time. It's been a pleasure talking to you, but I do have one more question. You didn't see it. Do you believe it?
Well, perhaps seeing is believing. When I first started getting all the calls, I thought, oh gosh, this is bigger than I ever thought it could be. So I'll admit, it was a little bit spooky when I started hearing all the accounts, but it's made me take more notice of UFOs and like what's going on around me. I'm looking up in the sky more now.
Well, Monica, it has been just a blast talking to you and trying to understand what you all went through down there in Stephenville, Texas. I hope you have a great life, and I hope to have you back on the show. You've all been listening to The Midnight Hour with John Hall, where we explore everything that's unusual, strange, weird, and especially the paranormal. Don't forget to tune in next time when I'll have renowned exorcist Father Matthew Carlson going to talk about his new book titled The Devil's in the Detail, an accounting of his life's journey as an exorcist. We'll see you then. This is John Hall.